Hello everyone, this is Dr.P.Syamala from the Department of MBA International Business, Acharya Nagarjuna University. And coming to today's topic, it is regarding e-commerce and laws. So, what is e-commerce and what are the laws regarding the e-commerce? Means every business person has to know about the e-commerce laws while he is entering into e-commerce or else the digital field. Okay, so we have to know, as a business students, we have to know about the e-commerce and the laws relating to the e-commerce. So e-commerce is nothing but it is a method of conducting business electronically rather than through traditional physical means not visiting physically the physical outlets and purchasing the goods and services there. Instead of a traditional marketing, we are going for e-commerce, which is nothing but purchasing in online. Okay, only online businesses will be there here. So this includes all the internet-based retail activities such as purchasing of goods, receiving of services, delivery, payment, facilitation, supply chain, service management. Everything will be involved in the e-commerce. Okay, so for this example, we all know we'll have a we'll purchase in Amazon, so it is an online platform. Okay, we'll purchase some goods in the Amazon. So after that we will receive services from this Amazon. They will deliver the goods and we will pay the payment through any app like Google Pay or else UPay. So this is the system in the e-commerce. Okay, so then e-commerce, then what is e-commerce law means? E-commerce law is a set of legal guidelines that are crafted for online businesses. Okay, so addressing a wide range of issues to ensure fair and secure online transactions. Means here both business person and the customers both will be safeguarded through these regulations, through these laws. Okay, so if at all there are no laws, if at all there are no regulations means, okay, so here we can see either the customers or either the business persons may fall in loss. Okay, so therefore there should be a proper guidelines, there should be a proper set of legal guidelines should be there for conducting an online businesses. Okay, by this both business persons and the customers will be protected. Okay, so these laws cover data privacy, intellectual property, electronic contracts, consumer protection. Okay, likewise under many aspects all these laws will be covered. Okay, and if we see comprehending these laws is essential for any online business to avoid legal troubles and build trust with customers, because online means it is very important. It is very important. Online means it is very important to do the businesses. So e-commerce laws are very important to protect your customers website from website tracking, for email marketing. Okay, so like email marketing means in email marketing, it requires business to provide clear sender information, avoid deception, include a physical address, offer opt-out options. Okay, so likewise many will be there. So therefore for this email marketing, for privacy policies means we have to ensure the customer about their data. Okay, likewise special protections for children, online privacy protections. Okay, so all this has to be, it is needed to know by the businesses. Likewise for business also, to protect the businesses also, business need to safeguard their operations by understanding the laws that protect intellectual property, fair taxations, ensuring fair taxations, and complying with employment regulations. Okay, so likewise. So intellectual property means we all know the trademarks, patents, copyright laws protect your business ideas and protect from infringement also. So we have to know about all these things regarding this through e-commerce laws. Okay, likewise tax compliances also, we have to be awareness of tax, sales tax, import duties, annual filing requirements. Likewise, okay, also we have to understand employment and labor laws, which ensures fair treatment of workers and avoids legal repercussions from violations. Okay, so by staying informed about e-commerce laws, you can protect both your customers and your businesses, fostering trust and ensuring a smooth operations. Okay, so these are all the laws. Okay, laws and regulations and laws. Here this is related to Information Technology Act 2000, is related purely to this online. Okay, so likewise for businesses, this FDI policy, foreign exchange management. Okay, this is a foreign direct policy, Payment and Settlement Act 2007. Okay, labeling and packaging, Legal Metrology Act 2009. Okay, sales, shipping, refunds and returns. Okay, and above all these, this regulations is prescribed by the relevant ministry or state regulations. Okay, whichever the Ministry of State or regulations, when they prescribe any regulations regarding the businesses, e-commerce, so all those comes under the regulations. Okay, on all this Information Technology Act is related to the online platform for this digital marketing, e-commerce. Okay, so under this only we have special categories like additionally Information Technology Intermediaries Guidelines. Okay, so intermediaries are that nothing but the platforms which will act as intermediaries for buyers and sellers, between buyers and sellers. Okay, for them also there are special guidelines to be followed in e-commerce. Likewise, Information Technology and General Data Protection Regulations, because we are dealing with our customers. Okay, their data protection is very, very important, and regarding that there are certain regulations. Okay, which is known as GDPR, and finally Consumer Protection Act 1986. Okay, and coming to taxes, so income tax, we all know income tax, double taxation avoidance agreement, GST, goods and services tax. So all these are also regulations under e-commerce, and these are all the laws regarding those. Okay, Indian Contract Act, Indian Copyright Act, Patents Act, IPR issues. Okay, labor laws regarding the employees. So all this comes under the e-commerce laws. And before going to the e-commerce laws, okay, we have to know first about the types of business models under e-commerce. Okay, so first of all, there are different types of business models, see here, for distinct purposes and for catering to different market dynamics and to reach consumer needs, all these types of models will be used. Okay, so first one is business to business consumers. Okay, business to B2C, we all know that business to consumers. So what does business to consumers means? Business to consumers is one of the most common e-commerce models where business sell products or services directly to end customers. Okay, so there will be no intermediate, directly business to consumer. So directly the business sells its products or services to the end consumer. And coming to characteristics, what are the features of business to consumer, B2C? So direct sales, consumer focused marketing, Okay, so these are two characteristics of B2C. So what does direct sales means? Business showcase their products or services on online platforms. Okay, for example, if we take any app like Mintra, okay, so it shows their products in online, okay, and attracts the customers, allows the consumers to purchase directly from their app, okay, or else they will have their own website. So that is a direct sales, B2Cs. And another one is consumer focused marketing. So these are particularly tailor made products for their particular section of individuals, means consumer focused marketing. Depending upon the requirements of the customers, okay, they will try to uh, give the products, okay. So marketing strategies are tailored to attract the individual customers, okay. Then what are the examples? Means online retail stores, okay, subscription services, online marketplaces, okay. So if we see subscription services, like for example, if we see Airtel services, Geo services, okay, depending upon the customer, okay, they will have customer analytics like their income, their education, their everything. So depending upon that, they will send the subscription services, okay, they will send the offers regarding the those subscriptions, okay. Likewise, online retail stores, those are also example. As I said before, Mintra, it has an website, it has an app, okay, its own app. So on that, accessories will be there. So it particularly target the women, okay. So there they can purchase their accessories directly from the app, okay. So this is business to customers. And if we see business to business, B2B business, so B2B is nothing but business to business, means it involves transactions between businesses, between two businesses. So where one business sells the products and the other one will purchases those products or services. And if we see characteristics, there will be bulk transactions and also negotiations. Bulk means if customers, means they will purchase only one product or two products. But if we purchase to another business, business to business, means it will include bulk transactions, okay. Therefore typically it involves large scale transactions and bulk purchases. And if we see negotiation, means so bargaining, okay, prices and terms are often negotiable and contracts may be established, okay. Contracts may be established for ongoing relationships. Definitely if one business is providing products or services to another business, means definitely there should be contract, okay. So in that they will, in that contract they will specify the prices and terms, okay. And there also they can negotiate their prices. For example, if they for a product they quoted 1,000 rupees, means they can negotiate the business to, in business to business they can negotiate. They may ask to reduce the price to 200 rupees, likewise, because as they are purchasing in bulk, okay, there will be chances to negotiate. So examples means wholesale platforms, okay, manufacturers selling to retailers, and business service providers. So all this comes under the business to business. So if we see C2C, consumer to consumer, this also may happen. Why? Because e-commerce facilitates transactions between individual consumers, allowing them to buy and sell directly. So this is known as the peer-to-peer transactions. Individuals can list products or services for sale and other consumers can purchase them, okay. So for this, online marketplaces platforms connect the individual buyers and sellers. So for these examples are online auction sites, okay, classified platforms, peer-to-peer marketplaces, okay. Likewise, so that is consumer to consumer. Consumer to business, what does this means? See, consumer to business means it reverses the traditional model where individuals offers products or services and businesses act as consumers, okay. So individual here offers the products or services, then those will be purchased by the businesses. Okay, therefore here we can say that business act as a consumer. So what are the characteristics? Means individual sellers. So individuals provide goods or services or expertise to businesses. Okay, and reverse auctions. So businesses may accept bids or proposals from individuals. Okay, so in the form of the bid, businesses can accept the proposals of the individuals. For example, freelance platforms, influencer marketing, okay, and user generated content. So we all know influencer marketing. Okay, so some people in small scale, they may, for example, if we see clothing, okay, so through influencer marketing, influencers are very powerful nowadays. Okay, we all know in the online platforms. So influencers have many millions of followers. So if those persons, okay, they may specify these products in their platform. Okay, so through this consumer to business, it will be an example for the consumer to business. And if we see business to administration, which is known as B2A. Okay, so B2A means business to administration, involves transactions between business and government entities or administrations. Means basically it is between business and government. Okay, so government procurement means business may provide goods or services to government agencies, and business collaborate with government platforms for service delivery. Okay, so examples. What were the examples? Business to administration means e-procurement platforms, okay, government service portals, and tax filing platforms. Okay, likewise, these are all the examples. Okay, so business to administration. So in these cases, it means it involves business and government, and here business provides goods or services to the government. For example, portals, creating the portals for the government services. Okay, likewise, consumer to administration means C2A. So e-commerce involves transaction between individual consumers and government. Here we see business to government, here individual to government. Okay, so online citizen services, example, individual access government services and information online. So fee payments like payment of taxes, utility bills, and government fees through online platforms. So all these may be done on the online platforms. For example, if we take GST, okay, so GST filing will be done on the online platforms. Likewise, online tax filing, government service portals, citizen engagement platforms, all these are the examples regarding the consumer to administration. So why we are studying all these types of models means, so depending upon these models, the e-commerce laws will be applicable. Okay, so what are the e-commerce laws? Means FDI policy. Okay, first one is FDI policy. Under FDI policy, how we can study how the e-commerce laws are applicable means there are two models of e-commerce laws. So what are those two models? One is marketplace model and the other one is inventory model. So what does marketplace model means? E-commerce business registration on digital and electronic network to serve as a facilitator between buyer and seller is known as marketplace-based model of e-commerce. Okay, under e-commerce there are two types of model. One is marketplace model and the other one is the inventory model. And marketplace model means here e-commerce business, they will register on digital and electronic network. Why? To serve facilitator, to serve as a facilitator. It acts as a facilitator between buyer and seller. Okay, so between buyer and seller, any e-commerce business, it will undergoes registration on a digital and electronic network. Okay, so the marketplace charges. So for that, this facilitator, this business, it will place charges to sellers, a commission for service it renders. Okay, so it will charge a commission So for this, the example is the largest online marketplaces now operating in the nation are Naptol. Okay. So another one, inventory model means a business that engages in online commerce using an inventory based model, possessing a supply of products and services that are sold directly to customers. Okay, supply of products and services. Here if we see, there will be a facilitator between buyer and seller in marketplace model, but here in inventory model they will directly, okay, a business will engage directly with the customer and they will supply the products and services. Okay, next, for this example is Myntra. Okay, Myntra is the example. It has a direct website for its business, and also it has a separate app also for Myntra. So the customers, they can purchase from directly from the app, or else they can visit their website. Okay, then it is significant to note that in accordance with the government regulations on FDI in the e-commerce industry, FDI allowed under the automatic route in full under the marketplace model. See here, if we see what are the conditions of FDI means, FDI has restrictions on inventory model and there are no restrictions on marketplace model. You have to remember that thing. Okay, so for marketplace model there is no restrictions, okay, by FDA, but FDA policy it has restrictions on inventory model. And additionally, as per FDA policy contained in consolidated FDI policy circular, up to 100% under automatic route is permitted in business to business and e-commerce laws. No FDI is permitted in business to consumer. Okay, for that means only marketplace model is allowed, but not inventory model is allowed. Okay, now link with payment and settlement system. Okay, this is another thing. So this is another law. Payment and settlement system. A payment system is a mechanism that permits payment to take place between a payer and beneficiary. Okay, additionally involving a stock exchange but excluding clearing, payment or settlement service. By adhering to the pertinent guidelines set by RBI on online payments, an e-commerce company must be eligible to function as a payment system. See, if e-commerce, any business registered under e-commerce, okay, it must be eligible to function as a payment system. First of all, it should have a payment system, which is nothing but that payment system should be according to the guidelines set by the RBI. Okay, so and further, a nodal account must be operational for the purpose of settling the payments on the merchants on intermediary online e-commerce, as I said before. So it should be the payment system like for like UPI. Okay, this we have Google Pay, Phone Pay, likewise. So those should be according to the guidelines set by the RBI, and they should have a nodal account which must be operational for the purpose of settling the payments of the merchants or else the customers. Now coming to regulations pertaining to labeling and packaging. Okay, labeling and packaging also. E-commerce business must adhere to meet the labeling and packaging requirements set out by Legal Metrology Act. Okay, so if we study about this act, online platform is required to provide necessary details about the items, okay, being displayed. So on the product page itself, they must include information like size, weight and other attributes. Okay, then only the customer is able to know about the full details of the product. Then only he'll come over to purchase those products. So all these are mandatory, all these are restrictions. Okay, regulations pertaining to labeling and packaging means they have to give or else they should provide the necessary details about the items being displayed on the product page. Then sales, shipping, refunds and returns under e-commerce laws. This is about the Sale of Goods Act. Okay, 1930. It regulates what information the entity sales and shipping policy must provide. Means definitely e-commerce means we are not physically visiting the outlet and we are not purchasing there. We are purchasing the product in online. So therefore definitely it includes shipping. Okay, if at all that good is not, that product is not satisfied with the customer, means how the refunds should be made, how the returns should be made. So all these aspects should be provided. So all these can be studied under Sale of Goods Act. Okay, and moreover guarantees, terms and transfer of ownership in commodities, all will be given there. And in addition, the policy must state whether the return refund options are available or not. Okay, then role of Indian Contract Act. Okay, so see, contract means definitely when we enter into the website of certain like example Mintra. Okay, so we placed an order for any product, then from that time onwards we have entered into contract electronically with the businessman, that product page. Okay, so therefore here if we see about regarding contract, IT Act, here IT Act for this regulates the requirements for electronic contract validity. Okay, so is it valid or not? So this electronic contract validity will be studied regarding this. So we all know that either physically also there will be definitely a contract while we are purchasing it, it is considered as a contract, deemed to be a contract. Okay, likewise here we are undergoing electronically, therefore IT Act comes here. Okay, and proposal, communication and acceptance. Here acceptance, contract means offer and acceptance both should be there. Then proposal of withdrawal, if there is any withdrawal proposal, so have to tackle. Then contract creation between buyers and sellers, intermediaries. So all these aspects will be studied under the IT Regulation Act. Okay, so for Indian contract, okay, for Contract Act, what are studied means IT Act can be studied. Then so that also regarding the what aspects means, what is the offer, is there offer or acceptance, okay, or else any proposal for withdrawal. Okay, so all these aspects under contract, regarding the price, regarding the quantity, okay, everything will be there. And scope of Information Technology Act 2000. So basically if we study here about e-commerce laws, IT Act plays important role. Why? Because information technology only studies about the data processing or else the data protection. Everything will be related to this electronic contract. Okay, all these things will be studied in this IT Act only. Therefore, what is the scope of IT Act 2000 means? E-commerce entities must comply with the information technology rules first of all. Okay, this is a restriction. Whenever any business entity entered into e-commerce means definitely it should comply with the rules of IT Act. Okay, then intermediary websites and content they display will be governed by the intermediary rules. Any websites, any content displayed will be governed by this intermediary only. Okay, for that under Information Technology Act there will be intermediary rules. Okay, so according to those rules they have to follow. In addition, for this, European Union's General Data Protection Regulation is there, GDPR. Okay, India. So this additionally safeguards data of EU citizens, European citizens, affecting practically all companies and organizations around the world that do business with EU. If at all there is any failure wise, personal data may be may not be protected, or else failure to protect the personal data. So what can happen means, for this steep penalties of up to 20 million or 4% of their annual global revenue will be penalized. Okay, so Consumer Protection Act, okay, 2009, CPA 2009. So under Consumer Protection Act, it is an Indian law aimed at protecting consumer rights and addressing consumer grievances. Under Consumer Protection Act, what can be studied means here consumer grievances can be addressed in this Consumer Protection Act. Okay. So it established a Central Consumer Protection Authority to regulate the matters. So this act, okay, established authority. Okay, what is that authority? CCPA, Central Consumer Protection Authority, to regulate the matters. Okay, regulate matters relating to violation of consumer rights, unfair trade practices and misleading advertisements. If at all this happens, okay, like violation of the consumer rights, unfair trade practices or else misleading the advertisements, okay, so if at all this happens means for this Central Consumer Protection Authority comes into the scene. Okay, the act introduces provisions for product liability, hold manufacturers and service providers accountable for defective goods and services. What can be further studied under this CPA means, okay, if at all any product defective goods were sent means definitely these manufacturers and service providers are accountable under this act. Okay, additionally it simplifies dispute resolution process. Okay, see, for defective goods, and the other one is for dispute resolution also this authority is useful. So it processes by introducing e-filing of complaints and mediation. So as we are talking about e-commerce, so how the complaints are filed means through e-filing. Okay, and ensuring faster redressal and effective enforcement of consumer rights. Then consumer protection, e-commerce rules. What are the rules means, see, consumer protection, government notified the consumer protection rules aimed at preventing unfair trade practices in e-commerce businesses and direct selling while protecting consumer interest and rights. Basically we all know Consumer Protection Act is related to preventing the consumers from unfair trade practices, misleading advertisements, violation of consumer rights, etc. Okay, so these rules mandate e-commerce entities to provide transparent information. So for that, what is the rule means? To provide transparent information about their legal name, address and contact details. They are also required to give product information including prices, the country of origin where the product is originated. Okay, so and also the rules prohibit price manipulation for unreasonable profits and unfair cancellation charges. So all these are also given under the rules, okay, for e-commerce. So e-commerce platforms must appoint a grievance officer to address consumer complaints, acknowledging them within 48 hours and resolving them within 1 month. Okay, so a grievance officer to address consumer complaints and also within 48 hours. Okay, 48 hours and resolving them within 1 month. Then the regulatory framework is designed to ensure the transparency, fairness and accountability in the rapidly expanding e-commerce sector, safeguarding consumers from deceptive practices. So this helps, okay, ensures the transparency, the fairness, okay, and accountability also. Okay, then foreign exchange management rules 2019. Okay, so if we see about this foreign exchange management non-debt instrument rules issued by Government of India regulate the flow of foreign investments into the country in non-debt instruments. Okay, here a non-debt instrument means a non-debt flow is the one where there is no direct repayment obligation for the residents. Okay, there is no direct repayment obligation for the residents. So here if we see about that non-debt instruments, uh, uh, we can say examples like equity investments, okay, capital participation, non-debt funds, all this comes under non-debt instruments. Means, for example, if we see equity investments, means these include investments in equity instruments in incorporated entities such as public, private, listed and unlisted companies, or else capital participation means this includes capital participation in limited liability partnerships. Likewise, okay, so therefore savings, scholarships, sponsorships, all this comes under non-debt instruments. Okay, therefore uh, non-debt non-debt instruments means like as I said before, equity instruments. Okay, then so if we see about the foreign exchange management under non-debt instruments, means these rules cover various aspects of foreign investments, okay, including acquisition and transfer of shares. Okay, rules, there will be rules. Okay, for rules means for what, means acquisition of or and transfer of shares, securities and other forms of investments. So they specify the conditions, okay, conditions under which foreign investors can invest in sectors like real estate, banking, insurance and others, aiming to streamline the process and promote ease of doing business. For this, okay, under foreign exchange management, the non-resident person of India, okay, what are the conditions, if at all, if he want to invest? Okay, so foreign investors, conditions, they will specify the conditions for foreign investors while they are investing in real estate field, banking, insurance, etc. And the rules also detail the compliance requirements. Okay, so compliance requirements are important for reporting and monitoring foreign investments and ensuring the transparency and accountability. Okay, so through e-commerce also, under this foreign exchange management, everything is monitored, okay, reported, and transparency will be there, accountability will be there. So by defining permissible limits and procedures for foreign investment, these rules play a crucial role in managing the country's foreign exchange and maintaining financial stability. Okay, so they are essential components of India's broader strategy. So if we talk about this foreign exchange management act, okay, simply means if a non-resident of India, if at all he want to invest in our country, what are the restrictions, what are the conditions? Okay, so for that there are certain rules, and are they following those rules? So are there compliance requirements are there or not, all will be seen here. And for that they should report and monitor foreign investments. So this specifies ensuring transparency and accountability. Okay, so next, if we see Contract Act 1872, the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines the term contract in section 2H as agreement enforceable by law. Okay, so an agreement enforceable by law where it exists both offer and acceptance. So here contract means any agreement which is enforceable by law of land and it has a validity. Validate contracts of agreements between various parties. There should be, means the law should recognize the validity of the contract. So Indian contract establish validate contract or agreement between various parties. Act is a central law that regulates overseas business transactions whenever there is a deal or agreement. Okay, so this Indian contract defines additionally the relevant terms as per the act and their meanings. Okay, so specifically for each and everything, what is offer, what is acceptance, what is withdrawal, each and everything is specified in this Contract Act, and according to that, okay, it will enforce the law. And if we see laws governing e-commerce information technology act, so this is purely we have to study about this information technology act. Why? Because The e-commerce laws all depends upon this IT Act 2000 only. Each and everything from electronic contracts to digital signatures, electronic records, everything. Okay. So